All right. Before we get rolling, everybody, I want to make sure you can hear us okay. If you can hear us, let us know in the chat box, and we're going to get the show rolling.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, that's for sure. See how everybody else is. Can you all hear us okay out there in Facebook land? We're going to start in 1 minute. We're going to start in 1 minute. Give everyone a chance to pop on the Facebook before we get started. And there's the wife from our secret location. Let's hear your sound over there. Okay, they say they can hear us. Let's hear your sound, dear. Get in the picture so we can see your pretty face.
I'm trying to load up the Facebook page too. Can you hear me?
Everybody hear the wife. Let's hear your mic, dear.
I just did. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I believe we can hear you. All righty, is everybody ready to rock and roll? Here we go in 3, 2, 1. We're going to wait 1 more minute. I hit the wrong button. Hey, listen, everything's crazy this week, so I'll wait 1 more minute.
Please, this is not any different.
No. We've had all kinds of Wi-Fi issues this morning, so that was that's what threw me off.
Yeah.
Can everybody hear Kim, by the way? Just want to make sure everybody can hear. Go ahead, dear. Read something.
FMB Designs and Remodeling.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Nina, can you hear my wife? Dear, you're slouching. You need to stand up straight.
I'm trying to get on the Facebook.
All right, everybody. In 3, 2, 1.
This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Live from Peach Time Out in the heart of Times Square. You're listening to Beach Talk Radio with Kim and Ed Ryan.
And hello, everybody, and welcome to Beach Talk Radio, episode number 105. Today is Saturday, March 21st, 2020, and day 2 of Fort Myers Beach being closed. I am broadcasting live from the area where Table 23 would be at Pete's Timeout. Kim is broadcasting live from our home studio. We are adhering to the government's call for social distancing. There are no tables out here at Pete's Timeout. You cannot come to the beach to hang out. Restaurants are only open for takeout, and that includes alcohol. You can buy alcohol by the bottle, beer bottle only. You can't come in and say, I'd like a bottle of whiskey with my ham and egg sandwich. You can.
Or a keg. You can't get a keg.
What's that?
You can't get a keg either.
No, you can't get a keg either. But you need to call ahead, or you can stop by and place an order and wait for it and then move along. And also, all county and town parking spots are closed. Do not come to the beach and try to pay for parking. You're only asking for a ticket, and you'll only tax the government officials when by now you certainly know all of the rules. So you need to find a private parking lot or parking spot if you want to get your food order or shop in the stores that are still open down here. And we'll have more stats and stories about the coronavirus situation later in the show when Vice Mayor Ray Murphy joins us. As always, we want to thank our great sponsors. Even though some of them aren't open right now, we want to make sure that we say hello to them. And, of course, all these ads are free, but they've been with us from the beginning. And that includes, of course, Pete's Timeout, FMB Designs and Remodeling, Shuckers at the Gulf Shore and the Cottage Bar, Fort Myers Tiki Tours, I believe they stopped also. And just last week, the Dairy Queen signed up with us. And so we thank all of them. And good morning to you, dear wife.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
That's it? Anything else?
No, how are things down there?
You know, there are a lot of people walking around down here. It's, you know, they're walking on the sidewalk and they're walking through Times Square. And all the times that we've been coming down here, I've never seen it where there is not a single table or chair out in the Times Square area. And it's such a nice day down here. It really is such a nice day.
No, I was out running this morning and watching the sun come up, and it is beautiful, but I'm going to stay here and maintain my social distance.
Right. We want to thank Mayor Anita Saracita for joining the show almost every night last week. She updated us on everything going on. She answered all your questions on the Facebook. And last night she shared her recipe for spaghetti sauce and told us her favorite makeup line, which was interesting to a lot of people. Not everybody, but to a lot of people.
Yeah, she seemed much more relaxed
Yeah.
last night and rested. And I think, a couple of funny comments were well received for people in these trying times.
Right. And we want to do something a little early or something different in our first segment today. And I know I've made her wait quite a while because of the technical issues, but Alana is joining us, dear. I'm going to flip over the banner so everybody can see Alana's website. This is some of our great technology now. Look at the sun right there. And she is definitely 6 feet away, or almost 6 feet away. So we're making sure that we didn't elbow touch at the beginning. But she's here from Beach Pottery, and that's her website right there. Alana, thanks so much for waiting, and thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
So tell us about the store. Tell us where the store is and, how long you've had it.
So the store is on San Carlos. If you're headed to the beach, it's on the right-hand side, about a mile and a half before you get to the base of the bridge. We're that big pottery place on the right that most people know of. My husband and I bought this store last year, so it's been almost a full year in April. It'll be a year. We live in that neighborhood, Siesta Isles, behind the store. And so it's an important part of our little community there, and it became available. We have some fun ideas for it in the future, and it's a great piece of property, and we just jumped on it.
Now, right up until last night, we had kind of been going back and forth, almost like I was thinking not to have you on because I didn't want your appearance on the show to get lost in all the other news. And then you started to tell me something that I thought was really cool about how you're helping people that are stuck at home. So what kind of ideas you're coming up with?
Well, I found it interesting the last couple of days. We've had a lot of people through the store. We're a large piece of property, over an acre, with a large building, about 1,500 square feet. So I typically don't have more than a couple people in at a time. So there's plenty of room to spread out. We have been following all guidelines. And right now I'm the only employee. So there's not a lot of people there. So I want to set that straight. First of all,
you're not breaking the laws.
No, we are not. But that all being said, I have had several people through the last few days who are preparing to be stuck at home. And of course, everyone has that to-do list that's been put off for some time that, we're all hoping to tackle and try to get some things done that we haven't been able to. So I've had a lot of people come through that are buying pottery, planters, things that, hey, this is a great time to get some stuff done in the yard, around the house, and it's therapeutic. Everybody knows that pulling weeds or working out in the yard, doing that is really actually kind of relaxing. You can zone out and at the same time, make your property or home look a little nicer and spruce things up. So it's kind of a win-win and a great time and opportunity to take care of stuff like that we maybe don't have time to.
So can you tell us some of the things you have in your store besides pottery? Because you carry quite a wide variety of materials and items.
I do. I bring in shipping containers at a time of pottery from Vietnam and Mexico. So there can be, upwards of 1,000 pots on a particular shipping container. So we've gotten probably 3 or 4 containers in the last couple of months. So I haven't counted each one individually, but there's over 7,000 pieces of pottery ranging, everywhere from $20 on up to $600 for a pot. So I've got like industrial size, and then I've got, smaller pieces too. So really anything for anyone or whatever you're looking for. But I've also started taking in some local artwork too from some local artists. So original pieces. And so that's been fun too, to kind of connect with the local art community.
What about, I saw on the website you have one-of-a-kind wood sculptures that are done by a chainsaw.
Yes. So I have a local guy. His name's Victor, who comes and does chainsaw carvings at the shop. He works out back. I have a little area where he carves, and then I finish them. And I have an employee, Molly, that's usually there. She's off this week, but she also helps with the painting and finishing. So we do a lot of fun pieces, a lot of sea life, a lot of, pelicans and parrots and that kind of stuff, but tikis, and we can do some custom pieces. We've done some custom bar stools, tables, some fun stuff. So yeah, that's it. That's the fun creative end of it. And it's been a really great outlet for me creatively.
So what is the most creative thing so far that you've seen somebody come up with, or an idea that you can share that might draw some people over to say, yeah, I want to do that?
Well, Victor's really very talented, and we had somebody in the neighborhood that lives in Siesta Isles, previous customer that came in and wanted some bar stools made with the University of Kentucky logo on them. So I don't know how unusual that is, but I was like, well, sure,
is that,
yeah.
Is
we
that
can do
because he liked the team, or because he wanted to sit on it?
They were carved on the back, so he wasn't literally sitting on them, but on the logo. But
do you think he can make
UK alumni?
Do you think he could make one that says Wisconsin Badgers with the number 84 on it?
I'm sure he could.
We have somebody we
can
want to
make
give
that
that
happen.
to as a gift.
Yeah, we can make that happen.
Another question, wife?
Yeah, I was just going to ask, what is steampunk metal?
Okay, so I have a few sculptures in the store that I inherited from the previous owners.
Okay.
That were brought back from Asia, and they are made from recycled pieces of metal, a lot of tools, a lot of automotive parts, and I've got a 8.5 foot tall samurai warrior. I've got a pirate that's about 4.5 feet tall. There's a Ganesha, you know what that is, and then a couple of predators too. So steampunk is kind of a style of well, it's just I don't know, help me out, Ed. What is steampunk?
Is that like a radio format or something?
No, it's usually metal work with gears, and it's kind of
of course.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's a style.
It's a style.
Yeah, look, it sounds to me like all that stuff they're making over there is perfect for our little man cave in the backyard. All the stuff they're
Oh,
building.
we have a lot of man cave items for sure. We really do. So
By the way, dear, did your mom make it home okay? I didn't even ask you that.
I got a text at about 1:30 in the morning that she had landed finally in Utah.
Well, that's good to know. Oh, sorry to interrupt there.
no worries.
That's all right.
Sometimes I go off on a
Important stuff.
tangent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, mom's important for sure.
Now you also have jewelry and beachwear. What kind of items?
We have a little bit of everything. So I also sell sea turtle bracelets, and those are actually manufactured or here in Florida. It's a mother-daughter duo that make them, and a portion of the proceeds go towards sea life, turtle preservation. So that's a really neat cause that I think is fun. I love, of course, local to Florida anyway, products. And so I offer those. I've got just some fun beach jewelry, nothing too expensive. But, something for everyone is kind of my goal. The beach wear, some cover ups, some shorts, some, fun stuff. Just a little bit of everything is kind of my goal. So. In the future, we're getting ready to do a renovation, and we're hoping we're going to put in a wine and coffee bar and do some pastries and a little gourmet market in there too. So hopefully we're able to move forward on that pretty shortly. We're hoping all of this passes.
What are the hours? And I mean, right now, what are the hours? I don't know if a lockdown would affect you. I guess people wouldn't be out and about doing.
Yeah, I mean, I've read the list of businesses that are on the essential list, and it includes landscape companies and hardware stores and things like that. So, I mean, certainly I don't really consider pottery essential,
Right.
but
Well, you do, but maybe
I
not
do. It
everybody
is to
else
me
does.
for
Yeah.
sure. But we'll certainly comply with it, with whatever guidelines are given, and but I do plan on being open as long as I'm allowed to. And of course, if it's possible or allowed, I live 30 seconds away
Okay.
from the store, and I can certainly run up and help someone buy a pot.
So you're open 6 days?
7 days a week.
7 days.
7
Cool.
days a week, 10 to 5. So, yep, every
Is
day,
there
10 to 5.
anything else? Dear, did you have another question?
Keep your head right there, dear. Well, that's one of the things is everybody's saying the glare from the sun. There you go, because you can't really see anything. The only other thing I wanted to ask about was if she could talk a little bit about the outdoor furniture that you guys sell, because it sounds like that is indestructible.
It really is. It's an amazing product. We've just brought that in. We're the only authorized dealer in Southwest Florida for it. I only have about 11 pieces at the shop right now on display. There's over 90 pieces in the collection available with 26 different colors. But so a little bit about it, if I can recall all the high points. It's 100% recycled material. Mainly from the number 2 recyclables, which is typically water, milk jugs, that type of thing. It's 100% made in the U.S. The plastic is extruded in Wisconsin. They are assembled in Iowa. Pardon me. Even the metal fastenings are made in Indiana. So 100% made in the U.S. They have a 30-year warranty on them. They have a UV protectant in them so they don't fade and they don't retain heat like a similar like Trex type of product retains heat. These do not. So they're great in the snow too. So you can even take them up north.
Cool. Very cool.
Yep. They're fantastic and really pretty. So come and see some.
Awesome. Well, I want to make sure this is kind of in your wheelhouse there, wife. So I want to make sure I don't leave you hanging.
No, I think other than, did we mention the phone number?
239-437-4211. Also, it's just Fort Myers Beach Pottery is our website. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. Just click Beach Pottery and you'll find us there. Lots of current pictures, especially on our Facebook and Instagram. I update that pretty much daily with new stuff we've gotten in or, updated hours or what have you. But lots of information on our website as well.
Awesome.
So,
well, we appreciate you coming on and putting up with all the wait in the morning.
No.
And we hope to have you back when things settle down and we can sit
Absolutely.
at our table and have a beer and talk more about business.
Mimosa, something, yes, that'd be awesome.
Well,
No.
thanks so much.
Thank
Anything
you.
else, dear?
No, I would just say that Nikki was on the Facebook saying that the steampunk is industrial and similar to Mad Max, which really put it in focus for me. So there you go.
That's a good
Cool.
description. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thank
Alana, for
you.
coming on.
Thank
and
you.
the
Thank
website
you.
is right there, FortMyersBeachPottery.com.
Thanks, Kim. Thanks, guys, for
And-
all the work you do.
Oh, thank you
Yeah,
very
really
much.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
And I cleaned that. I cleaned that last night, just so you know. You
I
can put
didn't
it.
touch it.
No, it's all right. You can put it.
I didn't lick it.
You can put it right on the chair there, and I'm going to pop this on real quick, dear, and then try and turn this camera so it's not right in the sun.
Okay.
Everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
How do you like that one?
I think that one's pretty, what do you mean? The announcement or the camera angle?
No, I mean the commercial.
No, the commercial is good. You still have a very large ball of sun behind you.
Yeah, well,
but
what do you want me to do about it? It's sunny
I
out.
don't know.
I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. Janine, why don't you come a little closer? We're going to break the rule a little bit,
There you go.
and we'll try and block the sun. But Janine is with us. Janine, you're going to get that microphone nice and close. And I'm not even going to try and pronounce your last name. I screw it up all the
You
time.
do. It's
Yeah.
Velasquez. It's fine.
And
It's just Janine.
And you're from Barefoot.
Barefoot Event Group.
First, before we get to the shirts, tell us about Barefoot again.
Barefoot Event Group does marketing and events here on Fort Myers Beach, and we're expanding a little bit further into Lee County and Naples. So pretty exciting stuff.
Awesome. Now, tell us about these shirts and how I remember when I was on the phone with Anita, you were either in the car with her or you guys were
Yeah.
somewhere together and you were talking about these shirts. How did it come about?
So we were talking about the Fort Myers Beach Friends of the Arts Winter Concert Series was their final concert was postponed. So we were talking about that. I had the film festival coming up in April, and we were talking at the same time. I was talking to a friend who's a server, and she is at a new restaurant, and she was talking about being in a new restaurant and being slower, and then with the virus going around, so she was concerned. And Anita and I were talking about how can we help, and I'm a helper. She's a helper. And we were trying to think of a way to do it. And Anita said, what about t-shirts? And then we came up with hashtags, and it just kind of evolved overnight. And then the next day we talked about, the hashtag We Are FMB. It's a positive message and we want to help. So got a little bit further. We got a little crazy late night talking, and we realized that we had an idea and we wanted to help people. And we thought about gift cards. And then we said, we really need to talk to a financial advisor before we went any further with this idea, because we knew that this was going to be a big deal. And we want to be able to collect money and then give out cards to those in the hospitality industry. But we didn't want to do cash. We wanted to be able to do gift cards.
When you say, what's that? No, when you say the hospitality industry, what do you, can you be specific? Like who fits into that group?
We've started with, that's a really good question. We actually started with just the restaurant industry. And then after that, we went to, it's not just the restaurant, servers and bartenders. We went to, you don't want her in the photo.
I'm trying to move her over so she's in the picture, but she keeps moving the wrong way. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay. So others than that, then we heard about the chair and the beach chair vendors. They're in the hospitality industry. And then we thought about the housekeeping teams at the hotels. So it's really all of us. So it'll be open to everybody in the hospitality industry. We're working on the forms now. This thing is taking off really quickly, especially in light of the closures yesterday. So the forms are in the work. They're pretty basic: name, address, telephone number, and then also a pay stub. And it's a pay stub showing that you were working March 13th when the town started to issue the concerns and alerts. So pay stub from May 13th, we'll verify the information and then we'll contact everybody and that has registered. You have to pre-register so we can verify, so that we can keep out people who are not.
Gail asked the question if you have the hashtag on your website. Yeah, why don't you give out the website a couple of times?
The Facebook page that we're using is We Are FMB. Facebook doesn't allow hashtag We Are FMB. So obviously the hashtag for Twitter and Instagram is hashtag We Are FMB. The Facebook page is We Are FMB. The Community Foundation, the Fort Myers Beach Community Foundation, is our not-for-profit that's handling the funds for this initiative. And their website is fortmyersbeachcf.com.
Awesome. So how are the sales going so far?
The sales have been incredible. We started this with conversations, I think, Saturday night. It is a week later, and I just got another order of the mediums in. That's been the tanks just got here yesterday.
Oh, tanks! Where are they?
They're in the trunk of my car. I've been stopped here in Times Square already about how to purchase.
Although the gyms have been closed, so I'm not so sure I want to wear a tank for the rest of my life.
No, they'll reopen. It's going to be great.
I know it's not about me, dear. I know what you're going to say, so don't worry about it.
That's okay. I almost brought you one, but I just could not get to the bottom box, to be honest.
Okay.
So I did.
You got a whole.
I did bring some with me.
Cool. So if somebody's walking by at some point today, you're not allowed to loiter, but if they're walking by, they can. Where are they selling them to?
So we had restaurants and some shops selling them, but all of those have closed except for one. Susie at One Flight Up is still open today for a little while.
Where's that?
It's in the Key Estero shopping plaza. So I'm headed there next with another stock of shirts. And then she's only open today, so we don't know after that. But we encourage everyone to please go online to the website. I will be delivering. I have another volunteer that I just picked up, Jan Fleming, who will take her bike and deliver the shirts.
Cool.
The thing that we are asking is that you purchase online through PayPal. or have a check to the Community Foundation. We prefer not to handle cash. I'm not a member of the Community Foundation, so I will not accept cash. Jan is a member, but she prefers really, if you'll write a check to the Fort Myers Beach Community Foundation for $15, we will get the shirt to you as long as we're able to be out and about.
How cool would it be just to see everybody wearing those green shirts? Dear, you have a question? I'm monopolizing.
Well, you monopolize. You took all of them. I guess I know you talked about, what people need to have to get the gift cards, food. Where do they go? Do they go to sign up for that on that Community Foundation website, or?
So actually, I believe Tanya Keller, who from Me Jane PR, has volunteered her time to do our PR and marketing for us. So I think that she might be online posting where to register. It's going to be info@barefootevents.com. And then we will be verifying from there. Distribution will be emailed or called where they can pick up the gift cards or to be delivered. Again, logistically, we were hoping to do it here in Times Square and at the south end of Fort Myers Beach. It has to have where I can sit 6 feet apart from people waiting in line, and also have plenty of parking. So that's logistics. We hope to start the first round of gift cards next Thursday or Friday, and the forms being ready on Monday after they're reviewed by our team.
All right, and you have all the sizes. I know you said you just got restocked.
I did. We have all the sizes now. Mediums were a big seller, so everybody who was ordering a medium that has been waiting for me, I have your mediums with me, and I will get them to you today. I brought a note because I don't want to forget this. When Anita and I were talking, we finally sat for lunch, met with the accountant. We sat down and we talked together on who to contact first. So we reached out to core people that we knew that are invested in our community and have shown support in the past. So John Lalo here at Pete's Time Out didn't hesitate. We barely got our sentence out. He was in. Same for Marty Harity of the Doc 4 group. Tom Torgerson and Al Durrett. They were in and said, what do we need to do? They really didn't even ask for all the details. After that, it's just, we're so grateful for everyone's support. Mary Torgerson and her Countess Collaboration donated gift cards. She put the email out, and we got a bunch of gift cards, which is great. Jesse and Vinny Titus from FMB Realty, they bought shirts and also donated. So you can also just give a straight donation towards the gift cards, or purchase gift cards and get them to me. Again, info@barefootevents.com, and I will pick them up.
And how long will they be sold for? Just until further notice, until things stop?
We will. We have this initial stock that we're almost through, so we're going to just keep selling. I just want to help as many people. We want to help as much people, same as you. So we're all going to keep going as long as we can, and have the shirts available.
All right. And I just wanted to ask, I know Barefoot Events, are there things that you want to announce from your group? Because I know the International Film Festival has been postponed. Is that correct?
Yes, it has. We are postponing. We are not canceling.
Right.
We went back and forth about that, and we picked the month of September, and I believe it's September 21st through the 27th. This year, we're working with the Beach Theater again. September is a slow month here, obviously, and so we're going to bring people back to the beach in September, and we are international with a lot of exciting new concepts and workshop master classes. So we were super excited to begin with about the film festival because of the new programs that we were bringing in. We're going to have it even bigger and better in September. The Fort Myers Beach Friends of the Arts Winter Series concert series is rescheduled for May 14th. And that is, I'm going to say we're going to be out of the woods. I'm going to be hopeful, and I'm going to keep thinking. It's going to be at Fishtail Marina still. And we're super excited because we have Back to Chicago performing, but with them is one of the former lead singers of the group Chicago, Jeff Coffey, who is coming down to Fort Myers Beach to sing with them. So you won't want to miss that. Tickets are available online at fmbarts.org.
So let's say there's another step where it's a lockdown, and that's totally possible because 4 states have done it already. the only way then at that point, I imagine, is going to be online.
Online sales only.
And then what do you do for delivery? You just kind of have to hold on to them and wait.
I'm gonna hold on to them and wait.
You don't want to mail it. You don't want to spend that extra money on a mail.
Well, actually, we've thought about that. So the shirts are $15 if we deliver, $21 if I have to mail them. And I do have the boxes at home. I've been stocking up from the post offices. So the post offices are open. I'll be going there and getting those out in the mail. We would like everyone who has one of these shirts, please post on We Are FMB on Facebook wearing your shirt, so that if you're a vacationer here, you enjoy our beaches and everything we have to offer here. So show your support and donate to back to our community.
Right. That's great. I just hope thousands and thousands of dollars, even though it won't be enough, are raised and that everybody can at least get something. So
definitely.
Dear?
No, I think you answered all my you asked and she answered all my questions.
Okay. Anything else you want anybody to know?
No, thank you to everyone who's already supported. Keep our hospitality industry in mind and stay safe and stay well.
How are things going by where you are? Or how is your life going?
My life is going great.
Okay.
My life is going great. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
And how about Anita? How about
She's
that,
doing great. We
Anita?
are having a lot of fun and a lot of laughter and a lot of reminiscing. So it's bringing friends together. I was doing some social distancing last night through Facebook Live or FaceTime with friends. So we're having fun with that. But before I forget, I'm going to be selfish for a moment. I'm going to wish my son a happy 29th birthday today. He is a captain on the Estero Bay Express. So
Very
he's
cool.
still trying to bring happiness to people.
And have you ever tasted Anita's sauce?
No,
she makes a killer sauce.
She's making some sauce today.
Yeah.
But I was there yesterday eating Marge Zuba's quiche. So Marge, that quiche was delicious.
And what about the Sephora thing? Do you guys have like little makeup parties? She was telling us all about her makeup last night.
I will not comment on that because I will see her alone and then it will not be pretty.
Oh, all right. How about a big hand, dear, for your Janine and everything they're doing with the shirts? Anything
no.
else we can do to help with the shirts, we'll make sure we put it up there. And
Thank you.
guys
Thank you for all you're
everything.
doing.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you
right.
for coming in, and we'll see you soon again with an update on all the shirts and the money raised. That'd be great.
Definitely.
All right. Take care.
Stay
Have
well.
a great
Bye,
weekend.
Kim.
All right, dear. We're gonna make a little transition. Usually, the dogs are awfully loud in the back there.
I know, and I'm
we got,
dropping.
Ray Murphy coming up, folks. So stay tuned for that.
This is a Beach Talk Radio coronavirus update.
I'm the light guy. Some people say.
Gotta play the-
This has been.
Ray Murphy's gonna make his way over, and we are going to talk to Ray about all the decisions they've had to make over the last few weeks, and we're going to take your questions too. So if you have any questions for Ray, the Vice Mayor of Fort Myers Beach, we want you to type them in the chat box, and we will be sure to pass them along to Ray. And he's chatting with some of the fine folks here in Fort Myers Beach. So being that I'm the only one here, it's hard to get his attention. So Ray, we're ready for you anytime you're ready.
This is Beach Talk Radio.
Now I got it.
The message, I think, for spring breakers is that the party's over in Florida.
The spring break party is over. We need you to go home. The behavior that's been going on related to spring break has absolutely violated everything that everybody else is trying to do with social distancing, and it's unacceptable.
Beach front is closed to commercial enterprise. It is closed to recreational enterprise. It is closed to your personal enjoyment until further notice.
Some will look and say, well, maybe we've gone a little bit too far. When you're dealing with an emerging infectious diseases outbreak, you are always behind where you think you are if you think that today reflects where you really are. It isn't an overreaction. It's a reaction that we feel is commensurate, which is actually going on in reality. In states with evidence of community transmission, bars, restaurants, food courts, gyms, and other indoor and outdoor venues where groups of people congregate should be closed.
When we're finished with the virus, we will win. We will win. And when that victory takes place, our economy is going to go through the roof. But we have to knock out this enemy. This is a really tough enemy, but we have to knock out all of us. That's all of us. We have to knock out this, and we will have an economy. I actually think we'll have an economy like we've never had before.
Live from Peach Time Out in the heart of Times Square, you're listening to Beach Talk Radio with Kim and Ed Ryan.
And welcome back to Beach Talk Radio. Ed Ryan at Peach Time Out. Kim Ryan from the home studio. She's social distancing herself from me, and every opportunity she has to do that, she takes full advantage of that. So Ray Murphy is here, the vice mayor of Fort Myers Beach. We appreciate Ray coming on. And Ray, the first question we have for you is, when you walk through Times Square and see what you see, what was your first thought?
Well, it kind of feels like hurricane time again. That's what it feels like to me. But it's devastating, really. But we'll get through it.
So give us a sense of the emotional roller coaster you've been on, being part of the decision-making squad when this all came crashing down like an avalanche after pretty much you canceled the St. Patrick's Day parade. It was one right after another.
Yes, it was. We had to cancel the parade and cancel the Shrimp Fest and so forth. And, of course, as everybody well knows, this comes at the worst time of our year down here, wiping out one thing after another. So couldn't come at a worse time. But anyhow, emotionally, I'm fine emotionally. I mean, maybe it'll hit me later on, but it hurts. It hurts to see all this happening. And, we don't naturally, we don't want any of this to happen. And you feel for all the people on the beach here that are trying to make a living right now, this time of year, the busiest time of the year for them. And we're taking it away from them. So it's tough. It's tough.
When you were making those tough decisions, how was the community response? Was it mixed? Was it supportive to the decisions that you were making earlier this week?
I like closing the beach.
Yeah.
In particular. For the most part, it's been supportive. You always get a couple of naysayers that shoot you that nasty text or email or something like that. But, I would say probably if I was a statistician, which I'm not, I would say probably about 95, 99, 98% of the people have agreed with our decision. Even though in their heart of hearts, I'm sure that, they hate it to happen. They understand why it has to happen. And so hopefully, when we're judged by history, we'll be judged to have done the right thing, and I believe we will be.
So as of this morning, Ray, 563 cases in Florida, 510 positive Florida residents, 1,049 people have been monitored, 14 cases in Lee County, 2 deaths in Lee County. California, New York, and Illinois. I've heard about Ohio. I don't know if I read that it's confirmed that Ohio is locked down. 4 states locked down. It seems like we're going toward locking down the entire country. And if you listen to the news or read the reports, that really seems like it's the only way you can really slow it down. And that this slow drip of one thing right after another, it almost is like it makes it worse because it just prolongs the agony of the economy coming crashing down. What do you think about the fact that it seems like we're going that way?
Well, it does. I mean, and frankly, all one has to do is look to Italy to see what happened over there and see what they've done. And it would almost necessitate the same thing being done over here. So, I don't know what the president's going to announce here soon, but I've certainly seen what the governor's been doing step by step, and we're heading that way. But we are Florida. We're the 3rd largest state in the country by population, and we've got a ton of people down here, and we have to protect them, and we're trying to do our part right here on the beach. It's a concerted effort. It starts with the feds at the top. Their job is to get that money out and do everything that they can do on the national level, but really it boils down to the locals. The governor, the county commissioners, the mayors, the council members, and so forth. And I mean, that's where everything gets done, really, on the local level, and that's we're doing our part.
I was just going to ask, what challenges, if any, do you foresee the council having if we did go into a lockdown?
Well, I guess there'd be all kinds of challenges. These people that live on islands, they're a pretty independent bunch to begin with. You know what I mean? And so a complete lockdown. I mean, it's hard enough telling people they can't go on the sand in their own backyard, let alone telling them they can't step out of their house. But I don't know that total lockdown means that or not. I mean, I've seen these other lockdowns so far, supposedly lockdowns, and the people can still go out and they can go to the grocery store, they can go to their healthcare providers, they can go out to different areas and so forth. But so I don't know what total means unless it comes to that where it's total and they have guards out protecting everywhere and so forth. But I don't foresee that right now, but I suppose anything's possible.
What has the compliance been in terms of on the beach after the second meeting that you guys had this week, the emergency meeting? Have you people on the beach, are they following the rules?
Well,
there's always going to be a couple bad apples, but for the most part, are people?
Yeah, it appears that way. And I'll tell you that most of my information is anecdotal. After those meetings, I've got another life that I have to take care of in my office and so forth. And so I went down there. So going down there, of course, I go over Big Carlos Pass, and our beach was clear. And of course, Lover's Key hadn't shut down yet, and there were people all over the place down there. So it was really a case of the opposite extremes there, seeing one bare beach and one packed beach. But my understanding is I just saw it on my thing on my phone that Lover's Key is now closed as well. So, but from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing is that most people are complying. You're going to have someone walk out now and then, and some people don't get the word and so forth. But I would say from my anecdotal and information and what I can see is that the cooperation has been overwhelmingly positive.
We have a question from John Wallow. He said, the next major issue facing us is flood insurance, due, paid in full, no payment plan. Mine alone is $17,000. And he's just asking if we would ask you about that.
I heard it, Kim. What was it about the flood insurance?
Just that the flood insurance, the payment is due, paid in full. And he's just wondering about that, about if there's any plan for that, because it's a lot of money for businesses to put up here in May.
Yeah, it sure is. And that sounds to me like something that would be done on the federal level, John. We're certainly not going to be able to do anything about flood insurance here on the beach, except possibly lobby the feds for some sort of relief. Now that wouldn't be a bad idea, considering that those premiums are big. But to answer your question, John, I really don't know, and we wouldn't be able to handle that here on the local level.
What do you know so far, Ray, about the businesses applying for some kind of financial help? Because if it goes to, even now with just a takeout and some of the other places not even be able to make enough to stay open, how do they get ready to get some financial help so they can be here when this is over?
Well, again, that financial help won't be coming from the town. That'll be coming from the feds, and that's all being worked out right now. I'm sure we'll be hearing more about that from Senators Scott and Rubio and our congressman down here. But I don't know the particulars of that yet, and but that's where it'll be coming from. It'll be coming from them, and all those bailout type programs are going to be done by the feds.
What's it been like at town hall with when this all started to happen and trying to get everybody? There's always so much to do regularly, town business wise, and then all of a sudden you're hit with what's like a catastrophe, and everybody's got to rearrange their workload so that this is the top priority. What's it been like down there?
Well, again, it makes me feel like we're in hurricane mode. You kind of focus on this one problem right away. And all the other business, of course, continues. There's all kinds of other things going on that continue, and Roger has a very capable staff to take care of all that. But so that's what it feels like to me, like we're sort of in a hurricane mode times 10.
So the federal government said that they're delaying April 15th, the tax day, for 3 months, and they're trying to come up with a plan for people and their mortgages. I mean, that's how serious it is. Like they're going to kind of defer mortgage payments or something like that. I mean, every day it's something major like that. Is there anything going on in the town that people should be aware of, that if they had something that they paid monthly, or something that they, a code or something like that? Or, I mean, can you even hold the magistrates meetings now? How does all that happen?
Well, I suppose things like that could happen at the local level. I mean, but as far as we don't have any entitlement programs per se, but I suppose what you're getting at is the fines and so forth and all that.
Anything, really? Yeah.
Anything. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's all open to discussion, I suppose. I'm not going to speak for the whole council right here this morning, but everything's open for discussion.
When you you said that if anyone had to tell me I wasn't allowed on the beach, you wouldn't take it kindly or something like that. So when you had to make that decision, that had to be crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't very fun for me to make myself. This is my time of year. This is when I start fishing, and I know I won't be out there. I do a good part of my fishing right out on the beach, and I won't be out there. So anyhow, that's my own personal selfish reasons. But of course, it was a hard decision to make. I mean, we can say, well, it was an easy decision to make because of the health problems and so forth and so on. Well, that's true, but there's a bit of bravado in that statement as well. I mean, how could you not be have feelings about closing the beach? It's everybody's backyard. It's everybody's front yard. I mean, it's everybody's yard here on the beach. I mean, so there's not. You can't tell me that you don't have feelings about doing it. Now, that being said, I'm not discounting as to why it was closed. I firmly believe in why we closed it, and I stand 100% behind that vote of the council.
I was just going to say, in regards to closing the beach, Gail wrote in that Beach Patrol Nello is patrolling the south end of Fort Myers Beach at this time, and he's clearing the beach as we speak. So I guess the Beach Patrol people are down there doing what they need to do to inform people and keep them up to date.
Good. Well, that's the thing, and that's their job. And the beach is closed. That's all there is to it. The beach is closed, and I'm going to give people the benefit of the doubt that are out there and assume that they just don't know that, and
right.
And hope that it's not any of our people that do know that, and if they do and they continue to do it, there are consequences to that, and I don't want to see it come to that. So I implore everybody here to just follow these regs for now. Give us a chance to see what's going on, and we'll get through it here. Hopefully, we'll be able to lift some of these things in the future here, not so distant future. But we need compliance now.
Are you hearing anything from any of the folks that you talk to about any kind of time frame, or it's just too early because the numbers haven't peaked yet?
No, I'm not hearing anything about time frame because the numbers haven't peaked yet. It's as you know, it's a very fluid situation. It's changing. I mean, the updates are coming, sometimes by the half hour. Right. I mean, so to answer your question, no.
Dear, I don't want to cut you off or anything. So
No. I'll put my mic up if I'm
all
ready
right,
to
good.
cut
That'll be
you
the
off.
cue from the home base there. So off the topic a little bit, there was an election in the middle of all this, and on April the 6th, can you kind of explain to us how it works? Because there was an election day, and you have 3 new candidates that were elected, but they're not actually on the board yet because you had 2 emergency meetings. So the process, I believe, is you guys take it the way it is with this 5 until the 5th or the 6th, and then the next meeting, the new members come on?
That's right. They come on they're sworn in on the April 6th meeting.
And so being that you're the vice mayor, I know that doesn't mean you're automatically the mayor, but there's probably a good chance, unless I'm guessing Rexanne wants to throw a hat in the ring and nobody knows anything because it's a vote between the 5 members and it actually takes place. It's probably one of the first things you do at the first meeting, right?
Yeah, that's the very first thing. And as far as that goes, I mean, I don't play that parlor game where, you know, who's going to be mayor and all that sort of. I don't do that. And if it's the will of the other council members that they would like me to chair the meetings and represent the town as the mayor, I'd be happy to do that. I'd be happy to do it. I've done it before. I'd be happy to do it again. But I'm not going around. I don't lobby people. I don't have people lobby for me. There's none of that going on.
Right. I don't even think I would have asked the question if not for what's going on. It's more than
Oh yeah.
so
Well,
much.
I mean, you know, it's but to get back to your question about the sequence, that is the first thing the first thing that's done on April 6th is the new members are sworn in, and I don't know what that's going to look like yet either. You know, I don't know who's going to be permitted in the town hall. You know, how far they got to be apart. You know. I'm sure they're going to want. I'm sure they're going to want their wives there to be holding the Bible and so forth and whatever else. But
crazy.
So they're sworn in. We go up and sit on the dais. I would presume that as the vice mayor, I would ask for nominations from the floor for mayor, and away we go. Pick a mayor, pick a vice mayor, and back to the business of the town.
Well, if you guys called an emergency meeting and did it the way you did it the other night, you'd be breaking the rules, right? I mean, it's you're not 6 feet apart, right?
I tried to keep 6 feet apart from those two. I do as a rule anyhow. I mean, you know, that Butcher, he slouches in his chair. He kicks me all the time. Anita's always yelling at me and everything else, you know. So I try to keep away from the two of them.
Give us your thoughts on how Anita's been handling the situation in the public eye with 2 weeks, basically 2 weeks left in her term. It's been incredible.
She's really showboating. She's a real showboat. I mean, no, she's been great. She's been great. She's, you know, this is Anita. This is the way Anita is. You know, she's like the mother hen, and she takes all of us under her wings and protects us. So she's done a terrific job. You know, she's the face of the beach, and she's on these calls. She's at these meetings. I mean, she's killing herself, but she's only got a couple of weeks to go here. So, but she's going out with a bang. She's not going out easy.
You know, she's going to start I don't know if you heard this, but she's going to start like a cooking and makeup podcast after she's all done with this.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She can't wait for that.
God,
Kim's going to be at the house with her there.
Well, I see that she jumped on Facebook, but hopefully she's getting her sauce made today. So
hopefully she's not getting sauced.
No, making sauce.
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry, Kim.
So, Ray, it
is 10 o'clock. I mean, you know.
Do you think that the president is dropping the ball on this, or he dropped the ball on this? Was he too late? Are we going to look back? I know I don't want anybody to be partisan one way or the other, but be honest. Do you think that?
Or not, but it appears that we have some catching up to do real fast.
Do you think when we look back on this 3 or 4 years, we'll say that it was handled too slowly or accurately, or
you mean locally here or nationally? Or
take them all?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There has been evidence out there for a long time that this problem was in China, you know, and then of course it started spreading, and so people have known about this for a long time. So the argument could be made that the response has been slow, but I'm going to let the experts debate that, and I'll just see what they have to say about it.
So when this thing all ends, you will still be on the council, and there are other issues going on or will be going on here on the beach. The first question is, do you think all the businesses are going to survive this?
Well, I hope so. I mean, we've been, it's been one thing after another down here. And I'll tell you, the businesses down here are pretty resolute. They, we've had hurricanes, we've had the red tide, the blue-green algae. Now we've got this coronavirus. I mean, I'm starting to feel like Moses with the Egyptians out in the desert here. What's next? The frogs or the locusts or whatever? But so the ones, you know, everybody has survived for the most part, and but this might be a little different. I mean, if this goes on for a few months, I mean, who knows? But that's where that's where the feds are going to have to come in and see if they can't help provide these business loans for these people to keep them going, and low interest business loans, and that'll be available. I'm sure that'll be available. So anybody that's inclined, should really be researching that right now and looking into that. I mean, I'm in the same boat here. I've got tenants down in Naples that are restaurant people and so forth, and I'm already talking to all of them and starting to plan out how this is all going to play out. And it's not easy. It's not easy.
You mentioned China a little while ago, and I even heard on the news this morning that it sounds like there were no new cases in China today or yesterday. The problem is you don't know if you can believe China. I mean, A, that's where it started, and B, yeah, obviously the information coming out of there, you don't know if you can trust. So, and then you look at Italy, and they just seem like they continually get bombarded with this. So
yeah,
it's hard to figure out, anything.
I don't have any friends over in China. I don't have any sources in China. So I really don't know what's going on over there. They say that it's under control now, and God bless them. I hope it is. And I hope that the Italians get some relief before long too. Poor devils, the way they are. And I say my prayers every night that we don't become the same way over here.
Well, I echo that prayer. In regards to the other things going on in the beach, like the construction and the light stuff, the issues that the council was facing, how is this virus going to impact those things moving forward?
Well, the guys are out working on the roads every day, so I don't see that stopping, and thank God they are. I mean, they need the paycheck like everybody else, and we need that road done. So they're out there working, and as far as the lights go, that doesn't appear to be topic one right now, and we'll get back to that. What
are the chances? This is probably a dumb idea, but let's say there is a lockdown and nobody's allowed in Times Square at all. All these businesses are shut down. Could the workers come in here real quick and do the refurbishing thing while everything's locked down? There'd be nobody here. It'd be like,
I don't know the answer to that just yet. I mean, that's going to have to be worked out. As I say, it's a fluid situation. I mean, I don't want to lock these businesses down. I think right now the way it's going, with this takeout business and pickup and so forth is a great thing. It keeps them, they're not doing a great business, but at least the doors are still open. And also the governor, in his wisdom, allowed these restaurants to send a drink home with people, which was sort of novel.
Yeah.
And a tremendous idea.
And what Ray's talking about is there's takeout here at Pete's, there's takeout at Placas. And I don't know who else is open. We're going to try and find out.
Suckers closed down completely, and
Margarita's closed last night.
Well, yeah.
But we are getting 300 eggs from them, dear, so they don't go bad. So you have to make some room in the fridge for 300 eggs.
Wow! And I just
run out of eggs again. And it's wise if you want to call ahead, or I don't know where to park. I mean, where would you park? Because everything's kind of closed. So big sign on the other side of the bridge that says all the Lee County beaches are closed. So don't come down to the beach, but if you want to grab something to eat or stop in any of the shops that are still open, there's private parking lots that you can park in, but you can't congregate around other people. So I see you got a question, dear. You're on.
No, I just wanted to say I stand corrected, and now I'm going to correct you that we're talking about a shelter in place order, not a lockdown. So to make that clear.
Well, and shelter in place, we don't even like to use that term. That's the term you use for an active shooter. That was brought to my attention, and so
that's a good point.
We don't even like to use that term. It's more of a quarantine. That's more of the along the health lines here. So I think that's what we prefer to use.
What would you like to say to Bruce?
Bruce Butcher?
Yeah.
My old buddy Bruce.
Came in 4th place, put on a nicer run, and was it one term for Bruce or 2? I've already forgotten that.
It was 1. Yeah,
okay.
He was running for re-election. So, well, I mean, it's been a pleasure serving with him for this year, and I'm sorry that he won't be there again, but I I think he's going to enjoy his time off the council, and he'll be just fine.
And the election was moved to November, and now 4 years. So for the new members, that means 4 years and 6 or 8 months, whatever that is. So that a little more time for you, plus a little more consistency on having people around.
Yeah, I was never concerned about my own time, increase of time and so forth, either the extra months on this term or the extra year on the next term, if so be. But what it does is it brings the beach in line with everybody else. It brings us back to November where we should be voting, and it also the length of the term brings us in line with everybody else in Lee County, which it makes sense, and it makes sense locally with getting the members up to snuff and so forth, and it gives them a chance to do some things on council.
Would you like to give a prediction as to when there'll be lights on Estero Boulevard?
No.
Okay. The other thing that you've been getting a lot of presentations on has been the park over at the end of Old Estero, right? What's the name of that park, and what are you guys leaning toward?
Bayfront Park. Yeah, that's a beautiful development. That's going to be nice. The Times Square redevelopment is going to take place here, and then down to the Bayfront. They're both being drawn up simultaneously, and it's going to be lovely. There's going to be a structure down there that'll be built up, and there'll be landscaping, and there'll be facilities down there, and it's going to be the plans are available. I'm not doing it justice right now by this little chit chat.
Oh yeah,
the plans are available to look at, and it's going to be a real nice area for beach people to go to, and also our visitors.
What
it's
about
gonna be a great place to congregate
in Times Square? Did you guys decide on a stage? Is there going to be a stage here?
I don't remember that, Ed, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
I think there was a plan for something like that, and I know there's a plan for one down at the the Bayfront as well.
What about the clock? Did the clock survive?
That's still being talked about. I think.
Right,
I haven't heard about the clock.
All
I'm
right.
sure there'll be a home for the clock somewhere.
Anything?
So all you clock people, relax.
Anything you want to say to the people?
Yeah, there are a few things. We have gotten through these past dilemmas of ours down here on the beach, and we're going to get through this one as well with everyone's cooperation. The beach is closed. I can't say that enough. The beach is closed. It's with a heavy heart that I say that, but it is closed. So we're going to need your cooperation to keep everybody off that for a while. We're going to do our part down here from the health aspect to flatten this curve. It's all about flattening the curve, and we're going to do our part down here. When the history of this is written, it will be said loud and clear that Fort Myers Beach was right out front and was doing their part. So with that, I want to tell all of our people here on the beach, God bless you all. And I want to make one more plea. You see, I'm wearing this shirt today. We are FMB. This was Janine Palauskas' idea with her company to help the local staff here. I want to take that one step further this morning, if I may. I want to appeal to all of our snowbirds, seasonal residents who are thinking about going back north here soon, or their typical time around Easter time or thereafter. I want to appeal to you, if you are going to leave. If you're going to stay, fine. But if you are going to leave, I'd like you to think about this for a minute. And a lot of you won't be listening today, but those that are, or those that see these words, you can get these words out to your seasonal friends down here. Before you go back up north, take an envelope and think about your favorite restaurant, bar, establishment here on the beach or whatever, and write a check. Write a check to your favorite server, bartender, bar back, the guy in the kitchen, guy cooking, guy washing dishes, whoever it is in that restaurant that you've gotten to know over the years. Write them a check for $100 and put it in an envelope, put their name on it, and put the restaurant's name on it. And if you can't get it to that restaurant before you leave, get it to me. Get it to me or drop it off at town hall to my attention, and I'll make sure all those people get that. $100 to you and all of these folks. Everybody's stock portfolios have gotten roughed up here a little bit, but they're going to come back. These people that are working and serving you all season long, they don't have stock portfolios. All they've got is what they make here during the season. And right now, their season is shot. So I'm making this appeal to all of you. Write a check for $100, put it in an envelope, and let's see if we can't get something going and keep these people, keep them alive here during these next few months, and thank them, and let them know that we appreciate what they do, and that we want to see them here again next season when we're past all of this and we're moving on ahead. So I say that, and I thank you all for listening to that.
Thanks, Ray. A great idea, and we'll make sure that we pull that out and play it repeatedly. So thank you so much for doing it.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate that.
Thanks for coming on, Ray Murphy, everybody, the Vice Mayor of the Town Council of Fort Myers Beach.
I wish you all the best. God bless everybody.
Thanks a lot, Ray, for coming on. We appreciate it. Oh, we can't shake hands. Yeah, can't do anything anymore. But thank you, Ray Murphy, everybody. Appreciate Ray coming on. That was lovely, dear. We're gonna have to pull that and replay it on a loop over and over again for everybody to remember that.
It's a great suggestion, and I hope, as many people as can will do that. Sort of, give a Christmas gift now early for the folks down there.
Right. And I also want to remind people it's takeout only. Pizza's open. They do have takeout for breakfast if you want to stop by and make an order or call an order in. The phone number is 239-463-5900. I know the SOB is opening for, I believe, lunch and dinner takeout. Plaka's is open for breakfast and the rest of the day. So place your order or come on by. You can't sit around and stand around and eat it, but you can also take home some bottled beer. They have, I think they said they were selling 6 packs for $6 or something like that. So that's strange. I don't think I've ever gone to a restaurant and ordered a 6-pack and took it home with me.
Well, no, I don't think that's the typical way that it operates, but I think they've changed it temporarily to allow that to happen.
One more thing I want to mention.
You're holding it the wrong way, but whatever.
15 will go toward the fun that Ray just talked about. Our daughter makes these lovely turtles swimming into the water. They were not disorientated. They went right into the water and they survived the sharks. So, and she's also taking requests. She'll make more of these, as many as we can, to get out to help the folks here out on the beach, or she'll paint other things.
Yes. Very nice, dear.
Thank you. Anything else you want to say about how we're going to survive this cohabitation and also distancing socially?
Well, us personally, that's a whole different thing. But I did see on the cdc.gov that there's a ton of information. And one of the things I found was a checklist for individuals and families. And it just talks about how to prepare and having a plan in your house in case somebody does get sick. And so, people can check that out at cdc.gov.
Great. And we'll give you as many updates as we can during the week. We really appreciate Anita and what she did for us last week. And we're not going to constantly harass her to come on, but if there's new information that she'd like to, we'll always bring her on. And we are working on getting a doctor on next week so we can really ask some specific questions about, what are the symptoms? When do you go to the emergency room? I think a lot of that people don't even have any idea about, because it appears to be so close to what a cold is, or do you feel like if you have a cold you should just stay in your house for 14 days, as if you're not staying in your house anyway? But somebody that has some knowledge on exactly what's going on there, and maybe even get some insight on what a doctor would expect as far as how long this would take before it finally starts to turn around.
Yeah, and again, that some of that information is on that CDC website about how you're supposed to handle if you come down with symptoms, and so they lay it out really step by step, and people should consult that in addition to everything else that's out there.
We appreciate the comments, Maria, and everybody else that was on there. Thanks so much to John, Lalo, and Peach Time Out for allowing us to come down. Thanks to everybody that's been paying attention during the week. And of course, if you don't know by now, we do have a new service. I'll repost it later about breaking news. You can get texted breaking news right to your phone now. And also every once in a while when we have a show, that's like 30 minutes away. We'll send it out to you via text. We're not going to overdo it. I'm not going to send you a text that says, hello, I'm going crazy at home with my dogs and my family. It'll be just specific stuff like that. So thanks again to everybody. And we will, the mayor says she will check in again later today, dear, with her information.
Okay. And hopefully she will get the onions that she needs for her sauce. I think people are rallying around that.
All right. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend and do the best you can. And we will see you next week, one way or the other, maybe here, maybe there, maybe both. Thanks again to all our guests today, and you have a lovely day.